I swear every single time we think that Diddy couldn't possibly get worse, he does. I know that y'all have heard all about Diddy's crimes and all that stuff, but Gene just came up with some even more shocking allegations about how Diddy allegedly tried to unnul 50 Cent. Now we know that Diddy and 50 Cent aren't exactly besties, and they do not see eye to eye, but Diddy trying to take out 50 is insane. And you can bet your bottom dollar of 50 Cent that he did not let this slide because he flipped out on Diddy, reading him for filth and for in to ruin his life. You guys better sit down for this drama, cause it's about to blow up all over again. Now I'm not going to bore you with all the backstory to you about why 50 Cent is one of Diddy's greatest ops, but I will say that they have been beefing since the late 90s because 50 Cent wanted to be signed to Bad Boy Records and Diddy didn't want to sign him. Bad Boy Records was in shambles after Notorious B passed away, and he was trying to stay away from all the gang rap image, and 50 Cent was big on his gang image at the time, so of course he didn't sign him. But anyways, they have continued to throw shade at each other over the years, with 50 Cent even accusing Diddy of trying to hook up with him and calling Diddy zesty when he do it. He says things he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He also claimed that Diddy tried to take him shopping, but it left him feeling weirded out. He straight up called Diddy out for being shady. Hey, he said something to me one time a long time ago at Chris Light's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what did you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You going to make me mess up the wedding? Well, that's a nice gesture. Let me get out. No, take me. What a guy says. Well, the drama has been going on for years, and with Diddy's new cases coming up every 5 seconds, y'all can believe that 50 is enjoying every last bit of the drama. But not only that, he's also producing a documentary on Diddy's cases. The documentary has been bought by Netflix, so y'all know that's really happening for real, like coming soon now. A lot of tea has been leaking from the documentary, and it's been some really wild stuff. Now, we've heard all about Diddy allegedly doing some really shady stuff like unliving Kim Porter, Kim's bestie Erica Kennedy, and a couple of other people, and allegedly trying to burn down Kim or Lee Simmons' house to force her to keep her mouth shut. But one thing about Mr. 50 Cent is you can bet that he's always going to shock us with more tea. And he did not disappoint. His recent revelations claim that Diddy and JD allegedly SAA the group Crisscross, and if all aren't caught up on the Crisscross, and they're tragic, and let me fill you in, Chris Kelly and Chris Smith were the dynamic duo who burst to stardom in the early 90s, becoming superstars at just 12 and 13. Like many child prodigies in Hollywood, they faced some serious challenges. Jermaine Dupri was their supposed mentor, who promised to protect and guide them in Hollywood. However, according to 50 Cent's documentary, a mentorship went way beyond music, and claims that Murd3r and Diddy allegedly groomed them in unsettling ways. The boys dropped 3 mega-hit albums with Jermaine Dupri, but word on the streets is that they were allegedly subjected to repeated saw with fingers pointing to Jermaine and his bestie, Diddy. 50 even claimed that this alleged ordeal pushed Chris Kelly into a battle with to cope with his pain. Sadly, this struggle continued until 2013, when he was found unconscious at his home in Atlanta. Despite being rushed to the hospital, he tragically passed away 3 days later. It was a heartbreaking moment for his family, who were forced to publicly acknowledge his extensive history of drug abuse for the first time. Well, Jermaine Dupri released a statement about how heartbroken he was, and he said to the world, "Chris was Mad Daddy. But to me, he was a son I never had as much as you may think. I taught him, he taught me. God has blessed me to be in the presence of so many naturally talented people, and Chris was one. When I think about it, I spent more time with Chris than dang near anybody in my whole life. So you can imagine how bad this hurts." But as people started to figure out, he didn't even know Chris that well, because he didn't know some basic things about him, like his age. And then one of the members passes and not right after, but years later. Yeah, he passes at a relatively young age. Was it 30-something? Yeah, I think so. Did you see that coming at all? Were you guys still in contact? No, I didn't. I didn't see that coming. We had just did the 20th anniversary, so it was like, well, Chris and Jermaine had grown distant over the years. Mainly because Chris was allegedly actively avoiding Jermaine, and honestly, who can blame him? Despite this, Jermaine tried to act like they were still best buds or something like that, but fans started to notice a change in Chris Kelly's demeanor. He seemed downcast and withdrawn after getting involved with Jermaine and Diddy. At first, we thought it was just peer pressure of the industry and didn't think much of it. Now that 50 Cent just leaked some RT, it's heartbreaking to imagine what Chris was going through behind the scenes. Jermaine's alleged so wasn't the only issue either. He supposedly allowed others in the industry to do the same. Cat Williams was the first to speak on this when he referred to Diddy and Murd3r as PDF files. What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD had enough. Yeah, German die king of the P. If you ask me, baby, she made the PR small as a child. The one thing about Cat, he doesn't mince words and he says it as it is, which makes the whole thing even more sinister if you think about it. But it gets worse because according to the sources, Diddy was not the only one that Jermaine was allegedly pimping the boy out to, because he allegedly pimped him out to Jada Smith in 1993. You think Jada Pinker was entangling? She was entangling Chris Kelly from Mother Chris Cross, because Chris Cross was in the room. And he was like, Jada Ping is at the door, but don't leave, take this weed, chill. We like Dan Mother gave us an ounce of weed, gonna kick it right here. Then he came back and he said, yeah, that was Jada pinking. I'm like, damn, Jada pinking at a young age. But this is not the only thing that has come back to bite Diddy in the butt, because do y'all remember the 1999 club shooting involving Diddy, J-Lo, and Shine? Now Shine took the fall for this and did a couple of years before being deported to Vice, but now the Descent just got one of the victims at the club to testify that Diddy was allegedly the one who shot her in the face. The woman, Natana Rubin, claimed that during the trial she testified saying, I saw Miss Combs pulling out a black gun with his right hand. I felt like a flaming hot sledgehammer had hit me in the face. She said, I literally watched them pull out the guns. I had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it vehemently to all parties involved. I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. She also hinted that there was some cover-up happening, saying I didn't have any reason to believe that someone would not believe me, but as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening. Netanyahu also spoke about the event, revealing that she still has some bullet fragments in her body and in her face and suffers from traumatic brain disorder as well as seizure disorder as a result of what Diddy allegedly did to her. But yet for the last 24 years, I've had lead fragments in my face, just like Julius Jones, the other gentleman who got shot. He still has it in his back. Like, people need to have some sort of respect and empathy, of nothing else. If nothing else, we didn't ask for this. We didn't do anything to deserve this. Like I said, I was an innocent bystander. What did I do to deserve this? And so, yes, the aftermath has been horrific, because outside of all of the physical things, I would have seizures. Sometimes I could have 20 seizures a day. One day, my son, he's a grown man now, but when he was a teenager, he came home from school, all jolly in a good mood, found me on the bed, stuck in a seizure, contorting, and my daughter, which was an infant, on the bed, trying to get the bottle in her mouth, just laying there without no care. I had been in a seizure. I don't know how long that seizure took, but I was seizing terribly. This has been hidden for too long, you guys, and these people are finally coming out to talk because of 50 Cent. Y'all, it's not hard to see why Diddy would want to unalive him, because he is steadily trying to expose Diddy. Well, according to Jen Deal, Diddy has been trying to unif 50 for a long time, and it kind of makes me wonder if 50-50 has had dirt on Diddy for just as long. I mean, gee, wouldn't try to unleash 50 for no reason, right? So it kind of looks like 50 has a boatload of evidence against Diddy. And that's why there have been reports of Diddy trying to kill the documentary and make sure that it never airs. 50 came over my house. He met me at the apartment because I overheard the conversation about these guys want them dead. So he asked me, did I have a vest? I said, yeah, I got a bulletproof vest. So I had some extra vest because I used to buy them from officers and stuff like that. And he came over, he tried the vest. It was too big for him. You understand what I'm saying? The vest was too big for music, so I gave him a smaller cover for the vest pass.